Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Cup English. If this is your first time here, we're really glad you found us. And if you've been listening for a while, welcome back. My name's Liam.
Hi guys, I'm Chloe. Thanks for spending a little part of your day with us. Whether you're listening in the morning, during a break, or late at night, we hope this podcast feels like a calm moment just for you.
Yeah, that's what we try to do here. Daily Cup English is all about real conversations in real English. No pressure, no rush, just natural listening practice that fits into your everyday life.
And before we start today's episode, just a quick reminder, if you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow us because we post new episodes every single day.
Daily episodes, short breaks, long talks, different topics, you can always find something that matches your mood.
Exactly. And if you're learning English, listening a little bit every day really makes a difference. So make us part of your daily routine, like your morning coffee or your evening walk.
All right, let's get into today's episode.
So Liam, today's topic is called the sound of healing. It's a very gentle topic, but also a deep one.
Yeah, when I first heard the title, I thought, okay, healing, but healing from what? And then I realized it doesn't have to be something big or dramatic.
Exactly. Healing doesn't always mean fixing a serious problem. Sometimes it's just about feeling a little lighter, a little calmer, or a little more okay than before.
And today we're focusing on sound. Not medicine, not advice, just sound.
Music, voices, silence, background noise. Those small sounds we hear every day but don't always think about.
It's interesting because sound is always around us. Even when we don't notice it, it still affects how we feel.
Yeah, think about it. Some sounds make you feel safe. Some sounds make you feel stressed. And some sounds can suddenly change your mood without you really understanding why.
Like hearing a song from your past and suddenly feeling emotional.
Or the sound of rain when you're tired and just want to rest.
So in this episode, we're not talking as experts or doctors. We're just two people sharing personal experiences and thoughts.
Right. We'll talk about how sound has helped us, how sometimes it hasn't helped, and how everyone's experience can be different.
And hopefully, as you listen, you'll start thinking about your own life too.
What sounds make you feel calm? What sounds help you breathe a little easier?
That's what today's conversation's about. The small, quiet ways sound can support us when life feels heavy. You know, when we talk about healing, people often imagine something very serious. But for me, it started with something really simple.
Simple how?
There was a time when I felt completely exhausted. Not just tired from work, but mentally tired. I didn't feel sad all the time, but I felt empty, like my mind was always busy even when my body was resting.
I know that feeling. It's like you're always thinking, even when you don't want to.
Exactly. And during that time, music didn't really help me. I tried listening to my favorite songs, but they just felt like more noise.
That's interesting, because for me, music is usually the first thing I turn to.
Yeah, that's where we're different. For me, what helped was actually background sound. Things like the sound of rain or a quiet cafe noise.
Like white noise?
Yeah, something like that. I remember putting on a rain sound at night. At first, it felt strange, but after a few minutes, my thoughts slowed down. My mind finally stopped racing.
That makes sense. Those sounds don't ask anything from you. You don't have to think or feel a certain way.
Right, they just exist, and somehow that helped me feel less pressure.
For me, it was almost the opposite. I went through a really emotional period a few years ago. I was dealing with change, stress, and a lot of self-doubt.
Was that when you moved to a new city?
Yeah, new place, new people, and honestly, I felt very alone at first. During that time, silence was hard for me. When everything was quiet, my thoughts got louder.
I get that. Silence can be uncomfortable.
So I used music as a kind of support, not loud music, but soft songs. Sometimes sad songs, actually.
Really? I usually avoid sad music when I'm already feeling down.
I know a lot of people do, but for me, sad music made me feel understood. It was like someone else was saying the things I couldn't say.
That's interesting. So instead of making you sadder, it helped you release those feelings?
Exactly. I would listen, cry a little, and then feel lighter, like the sound helped me let everything out.
I think that shows how personal healing really is. What works for one person might not work for another.
Totally. There's no right sound for healing. It depends on where you are in your life and what you need at that moment.
And sometimes the sound that helps you can change over time.
Yes, what helped me back then might not help me now, and that's okay.
So if you're listening right now and thinking, sound doesn't really help me, that's fine too.
But maybe you just haven't found the right kind of sound yet.
Or maybe you need silence today and sound tomorrow.
Healing isn't a straight line, and sound is just one small part of it. But sometimes that small part matters more than we expect.
You know, what I find really interesting is that healing sounds don't have to be special at all.
Yes, they don't have to be music or something made for relaxation.
Exactly. Sometimes it's just the sounds we hear every day, the ones we usually ignore.
Like what?
For me, one of the most calming sounds is the sound of coffee being made in the morning.
Oh, I love that sound.
The quiet kitchen, the coffee machine, the cup on the table, it feels slow, it feels safe.
To me, that's because it's connected to routine. It reminds you that life is moving in a steady way.
Yeah, it tells you it's a new day. You don't have to rush yet.
To me, it's the sound of rain, especially when I'm inside and warm.
Rain is a classic one.
But it's more than just relaxing. Rain makes me feel protected, like the world outside is busy, but I'm allowed to pause.
I feel that too. Rain kind of creates a barrier between you and everything else.
Exactly. And then there are sounds like wind or leaves moving. They're so simple, but they remind me that nature is always there.
Even in the city, you can find small natural sounds if you listen carefully.
That's true. Sometimes I hear birds in the morning, even with traffic.
And that contrast is interesting. You have noise, but also calm at the same time.
What about night sounds for you?
At night, I like quiet city sounds. Distant cars, maybe someone walking far away. Not too loud, just enough to remind me I'm not alone.
I used to think I needed total silence to sleep, but now I actually like a little background noise.
Same. Complete silence can feel heavy.
Yeah, when it's too quiet, my mind starts talking.
Everyday sounds can also bring back memories.
Oh, definitely.
Like the sound of dishes in the kitchen reminds me of my family when I was younger.
To me, it's the sound of a fan in the summer. It always takes me back to childhood.
And those memories aren't loud or dramatic, but they're comforting.
I think that's why everyday sounds can be healing. They remind us of normal life.
They tell us that things are okay, at least in this moment.
You don't have to do anything special. You just have to listen.
And maybe slow down enough to notice what's already around you.
Sometimes healing isn't about adding something new. It's about paying attention to what's already there. Since we're talking about sound, I think we have to talk about music. For a lot of people, music is the first thing that comes to mind when they hear the word healing.
That's true. Music is everywhere in our lives. We listen to it when we're happy, when we're sad, when we're bored, even when we're working.
And sometimes we don't even realize how much it affects our emotions.
I agree with that. But I have a question for you. Do you think music always helps?
Always? No, not always.
Yeah, because for me, there were times when music made things harder, not easier.
In what way?
When I was already stressed or overwhelmed, certain songs just added more emotion. It felt like too much.
That makes sense. Music can be very powerful.
Exactly. A song can bring back memories, feelings, even people you're trying not to think about.
I've definitely experienced that. Sometimes a song comes on and suddenly you're back in a moment you thought you had moved on from.
So in those moments, I avoided music. I chose silence or simple sounds instead.
For me, music works differently. When I'm emotional, I often choose music that matches my mood,
Even if it's sad?
especially if it's sad. Sad music helps me feel less alone. It feels honest.
I think that's interesting. I usually try to listen to something more positive.
I understand that, but for me, pretending to feel happy doesn't help. I need to feel my emotions first.
So music becomes a way to face those feelings.
Yes, I listen, I think, sometimes I cry, and after that, I feel calmer.
That's a kind of release.
Exactly. Music gives my feelings a place to go.
What kind of music do you usually listen to when you want to heal?
Mostly soft music, acoustic songs, piano, slow voices, sometimes music without words.
Yeah, instrumental music can be very calming.
Because there are no lyrics telling you what to think, you can add your own meaning.
I like that too, especially when I need to focus or relax.
And then there are moments when one specific song becomes very important.
Like a song that stays with you for a long time?
Yes, a song that you connect with a certain period in your life. When you hear it again years later, everything comes back.
That can be comforting, but also painful.
True, but I think both feelings can be part of healing.
I'm starting to see your point. Music isn't just about feeling better, it's about feeling something real.
Exactly. Healing doesn't mean being happy all the time.
It means understanding your emotions and giving them space.
And music can help create that space if you choose it in the right way at the right time.
So maybe the key isn't the music itself, but how we listen to it.
I think so. Healing music isn't one type of sound. It's the sound that meets you where you are.
You know, when we talk about music and everyday sounds, there's one thing we haven't really talked about yet.
Silence.
Yeah, silence. It sounds strange, but silence is also a kind of sound.
I used to disagree with that. For a long time, silence made me uncomfortable.
Same here, especially in the past. When everything was quiet, my thoughts became very loud.
Exactly. Silence didn't feel peaceful, it felt empty or even scary.
I think many people feel that way. We're so used to noise, phones, music, conversations, that silence feels unfamiliar.
And when something feels unfamiliar, we try to avoid it.
I remember always having something playing in the background. A podcast, a video, music, anything.
Me too. It was like I was afraid of being alone with my thoughts.
But at some point, I started turning everything off. Not for a long time, just a few minutes.
How did that feel?
Uncomfortable at first, very uncomfortable. I noticed thoughts I had been avoiding.
That's the hard part of silence.
Yeah, silence doesn't distract you. It shows you what's really there.
For me, learning to sit with silence took time. I started with small moments, like sitting quietly before sleep.
No phone, no music.
No phone, no music, just breathing.
And did it help?
Slowly, yes, silence stopped feeling like an enemy. It became a place to rest.
I like that. A place to rest.
Silence gave me space to understand my feelings instead of running away from them.
I think that's why silence can be healing. Not because it's comfortable, but because it's honest.
That's a really good way to say it.
Of course, silence isn't for every moment. Sometimes we need sound. Sometimes we need connection.
But sometimes, silence is the kindest thing we can give ourselves.
Just a few quiet minutes, no expectations.
No pressure to feel better right away.
Just listening to your breath. Listening to yourself.
And realizing that it's okay to be quiet.
Silence doesn't mean nothing is happening.
Sometimes it means healing is happening quietly. You know, when you talked about silence showing what's really there, it made me think about memory.
Because silence often brings memories back?
Yes, but not only silence. Sound in general has a very strong connection to memory.
I agree. Sometimes a sound can take you back to a moment in your life faster than a photo.
Exactly. You don't even try to remember. It just happens. Like hearing a song from high school and suddenly feeling like you're that age again.
Or hearing a familiar voice and feeling emotional without knowing why. For me, one of the strongest memory sounds is the sound of dishes in the kitchen.
Really?
Yeah, when I hear plates and forks touching, it reminds me of family dinners when I was a kid.
That's such a warm memory.
It is. Even now, when I'm far from home, that sound makes me feel connected.
For me, it's the sound of a fan running at night.
That's very specific.
I know, but when I was younger, we always had a fan on during summer nights. When I hear that sound now, I feel safe, like nothing bad can happen.
It's amazing how small sounds can carry such big emotions.
And they're different for everyone. My healing sound might mean nothing to you.
But that doesn't make it less powerful.
Exactly. Healing through sound is very personal.
Do you think memory sounds can also be painful?
Yes, definitely. Some sounds remind us of people we've lost or moments we wish we could change.
I've experienced that too. There are sounds I still avoid.
But even painful memories can be part of healing.
How so?
Because they remind us that we cared, that something mattered.
That's true. Avoiding all memories doesn't really help in the long run.
Sometimes healing is learning to sit with those memories without breaking.
And sound can slowly help us do that.
Yes, at first the feeling is strong, but over time it becomes softer.
Like the memory changes, even though the sound stays the same.
Exactly. The sound doesn't heal us overnight, but it walks with us as we heal.
I like that idea.
Me too. It makes healing feel less lonely.
So maybe the sounds we remember aren't random at all.
Maybe they stay with us because we still need them.
When we talk about sound and memory, it feels very calm, but modern life doesn't always sound like that.
No, not at all. Modern life is loud.
It really is. Phones, notifications, traffic, people talking, machines working, there's always something making noise.
And the problem is, we don't really get a choice. The noise just follows us everywhere.
Even when we're alone, we're not really alone. Our phones are always there.
Yeah, messages, emails, social media, each sound asks for attention.
And over time, that constant noise makes us tired.
Not just physically tired, but mentally tired.
I've noticed that when I'm surrounded by too much noise, I feel impatient.
Same. Small things start to bother me more than usual.
That's when I realize I need quiet, not more noise.
But it's hard to find quiet in modern life.
It is. Sometimes you have to create it yourself.
Like turning off notifications?
Exactly. Or choosing not to listen to anything for a while.
I used to feel uncomfortable without background noise. Now I see it as a break.
A break for your mind.
Yes, because our minds are always reacting to sound.
Every sound is a small request. Look at this. Think about that.
And when there are too many requests, we feel overwhelmed.
That's why some people feel exhausted even when they haven't done much.
Because their minds never rest.
Modern life doesn't teach us how to listen carefully.
Or how to stop listening.
So healing, in this case, might mean learning to choose our sounds.
Choosing what we allow into our ears and minds.
Not every sound deserves our attention.
And not every moment needs noise.
Maybe part of healing today is simply reducing the noise.
Making space for the sounds that actually support us.
Or making space for silence.
In a loud world, quiet can be a form of self-care. After talking about modern life and all that noise, I think it's important to talk about small habits.
Yeah, not big changes, just small things we can actually do.
Because healing doesn't have to be complicated.
Most of the time, it isn't.
One small habit I've developed is choosing my morning sound.
What do you mean by that?
Instead of checking my phone right away, I listen to something calm. Sometimes it's soft music, sometimes it's just the sounds outside my window.
That already sounds better than notifications.
It changes how my day starts. I feel less rushed.
I do something similar at night. Before sleeping, I turn everything off and let the room be quiet.
No videos, no scrolling?
No scrolling, just a few minutes of quiet. It helps my mind slow down.
I like that idea. Night sounds are very powerful.
They are. Even simple sounds like a fan or distant traffic can be calming.
Another habit I have is using music when I need emotional support.
Like when you're feeling overwhelmed?
Exactly. I don't force myself to feel better. I just listen to something that matches my mood.
That's an important point. You're not using sound to escape.
Right. I'm using it to stay present.
For me, one small habit is taking sound breaks.
Sound breaks.
Yeah, short moments during the day when I stop listening to anything.
That's interesting.
Just 5 minutes. No music, no podcasts, just quiet.
I think a lot of people forget they can do that.
We think we always need something playing.
But sometimes the most healing sound is nothing.
Exactly.
I also try to be more aware of how certain sounds affect me.
Like noticing when something makes you tense?
Yes, if a sound makes me anxious, I try to reduce it.
That's a form of self-care.
Very simple self-care.
Healing habits don't need to take a lot of time.
They just need attention.
And a little kindness toward yourself.
When you start listening more carefully, you understand yourself better.
And that's where healing often begins. At this point in the conversation, I think it's nice to slow down a little.
Yeah, just take a breath.
If you're listening right now, maybe you can notice the sounds around you.
Not to change them, just to notice them.
Maybe you hear your breathing.
Or a small sound in the room.
Maybe there's music playing softly in the background.
Or maybe there's nothing at all.
Whatever you hear is okay.
We spend so much time reacting to sound without thinking.
But when we pause and really listen, something changes.
We become more present.
More connected to ourselves.
You don't need to understand everything you're feeling right now.
You don't need to fix anything.
Just listening is enough.
Sometimes healing starts when we stop trying so hard.
And allow ourselves to be exactly where we are.
With the sounds around us.
And the feelings inside us.
This moment doesn't need to be perfect.
It just needs to be honest.
So wherever you are, we hope you can carry this quiet awareness with you.
Even after this episode ends.
Because healing doesn't always come from big changes.
Sometimes it comes from listening.
As we come closer to the end of today's conversation, I keep thinking about how simple all of this really is.
Yeah, we talked about many kinds of sound, music, silence, everyday noise, but none of it was complicated.
And that's kind of the point. Healing doesn't always come from big moments.
It often comes from small, quiet ones.
The sounds we choose to keep in our lives can shape how we feel more than we realize.
And the sounds we choose to let go of matter too.
We live in a world that's constantly asking for our attention.
So choosing what we listen to is also choosing how we take care of ourselves.
Whether it's music that understands you,
or silence that gives you space,
or a familiar everyday sound that makes you feel safe.
all of those can be part of healing.
There's no perfect sound.
And no right way to heal.
What matters is listening with intention.
Listening to the world and listening to yourself.
And being patient with whatever you hear.
Healing doesn't rush.
It happens in its own time.
And sometimes it happens quietly.
We hope today's conversation reminded you to slow down.
To notice the sounds around you.
And to remember that even small moments can support you.
You don't need to change everything.
Just start by listening. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
Whether you were listening carefully or just letting our voices play in the background, we're really happy you were here.
This has been another episode of Daily Cup English.
A small daily space where you can relax, listen, and grow more comfortable with real English.
If today's episode brought you a moment of calm or helped you feel a little more connected,
please remember to subscribe to the channel and follow us so you don't miss our future episodes.
we post new episodes of podcast conversations every day with different topics, different moods, and real-life English you can use.
You can listen while walking, resting, studying, or just taking a quiet moment for yourself.
And if you enjoy healing, thoughtful conversations like this one, you'll definitely find more episodes you like here.
Until next time, take care of yourself.
Listen gently.
And remember,
sometimes healing begins with a sound.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.